It's the NFL on CBS from rainy Pittsburgh. Action from the AFC North, the Bengals and the Steelers. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. The rain continues to come down here in Pittsburgh. Forecast calling for showers throughout the afternoon in the area. Before we kick it off, let's go down to the third member of our crew, Evan Washburn. Evan?
The line, as is reported this week, due to the recent history between these two teams, the officiating comes in with a heightened sense of awareness. What that means, we don't really know at this point, but it comes to no surprise to the Bengals. I spoke to Carlos Dunlop over the summer, and he expected a constant spotlight on their defense for this game and really the entire season. He felt like it's a reputation that they had earned. They feel like they can better toe the line, but this will be the biggest test of this season thus far, guys.
Evan, is that Gore-Tex? It's wet.
Yeah, get a hat on. Geez, you're going to catch a pneumonia.
That's your injury report for Evan.
He's doubtful for the second half.
Cincinnati won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so Pittsburgh will receive. That wild card game, 18-16 victory for the Steelers. 6 turnovers in that game, 18 penalties. Adam Jones was a big part of that and the chaos at the end of it. Nugent kicks it off. Sammy Coates will take a knee, and the Steelers will have it at the 25-yard line to open things up here in Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick last week in the 38-16 win in Washington.
Yeah, and he's a little smaller to start this season. He told us on Friday he's dropped about 15 pounds thanks to some extra cardiovascular work in the offseason, and more importantly, maybe the desire to play an entire 16-game season and maybe more.
He completed the most deep passes in the NFL in 2015, and we saw that as part of Pittsburgh's arsenal in Week 1. Just incredible chemistry with Antonio Brown. 8 catches, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Shotgun formation for Roethlisberger to open things up on the first play. D'Angelo Williams, AFC Offensive Player of the Week, picks up where he left off from last week. The vision to pick up 8 yards on first down. Offensive line, David DeCastro. They locked them up long-term, a new deal, 6 years, $58 million. This is right up there with the best offensive lines in football. Eli Rogers, a surprise in Week 1, working out of the slot. He missed all of last season, his rookie year out of Louisville, because of a foot injury. And in his NFL debut, he was a major factor. Give it to Williams again. 3 tight ends in this formation. And Williams dances for 1 yard on the play. Michael Johnson in on the stop. Defensively for Cincinnati, Geno Atkins, he is so disruptive up the middle for this Bengal front. Linebackers, Carlos Dansby, the new addition, fits in nicely for Marvin Lewis's defense. And Adam Jones, officials were told, keep an eye on any extracurricular activity or anything that crosses the line near the cheap football here tonight. Williams going up the middle. Very close, but he didn't get it.
Now, a great job by Ray Maaluga, the middle linebacker for the Bengals. As you'll see, he meets D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. Left side of the screen, you'll see him come in and read this play. There's just no push there. Great job, Geno Atkins. Stuffed the guard and the center, and there's Maaluga to find his way through to the backfield.
So an 8-yard run on first down, and the Steelers still go 3 and out. Jordan Berry punting. Alex Erickson, the return man, and this one sailed out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. Walking up the sideline to the 20. And that's where the Bengals will open up after the 46-yard punt by Berry. Andy Dalton, 366 yards in that 23-22 win over the Jets. Mike Nugent had a 47-yard field goal with 1:54. That turned out to be the difference.
Yeah, but after being sacked 7 times by the Jets last week, Dalton told us yesterday he expects to see similar pressure applied by the Steelers. He's faced them enough to know he'll see a steady diet of fire zone blitzes and extra attention paid to wide receiver A.J. Green.
Open up with 2 tight ends. Dalton dealing with the crowd noise early here in Pittsburgh. He's got Jeremy Hill behind him. Hill tries to cut, and he's limited on the play. Robert Golden ready for it. No gain for Cincinnati on first down. The Cincinnati offense The new face is Cedric Ogbuehi. He was with the team last year, but now in that starting role at right tackle, replacing Andre Smith. C.J. Uzomah stepping in for the injured Tyler Eifert. Eifert, Pro Bowler last year. Ankle surgery in May. Originally was expected to miss about 3 months. Didn't work out that way. Hill carrying a defender with him, Robert Golden. And Hill keeps the legs churning for a pickup of 5 yards for Cincinnati. Of course, Hill had that critical fumble in the wild card game with 1:23 to play that left the door open for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who then went through it to get the win.
Yeah, and a combined 5 offensive plays run so far today, and all of them have been on the ground.
3 wide receiver set, LaFell, Green, and the rookie Boyd, Tyler Boyd, a Clairton, Pennsylvania native, grew up 30 minutes from this stadium. Shotgun. Dalton throws. It's complete, and it's Boyd. The Pitt product. Getting a lot of praise from his teammates for his outstanding route running and feel for the game. Defensively, how about the responsibility on Javon Hargrave out of South Carolina State? At nose tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers as a rookie. Ryan Shazier, question mark today with a knee injury. He's in there for the Steelers, and in the secondary, Ross Cockrell. He gets picked on that back line. Mike Tomlin said, hey, it's still a work in progress. We're still trying to figure out who we are. Hill, limited by Stephon Tuitt. Tuitt was the one who was involved in the Andy Dalton injury last year. After the interception, Dalton tried to make a tackle on Tuitt, and that was a poor decision. He broke his thumb. That ended his season. And
Tuitt just ran right around Cedric Ogbuehi on that play. Ogbuehi had problems last week against the Jets protecting Dalton.
Watch it, Wes.
Sean Davis is in there as the nickel for Pittsburgh. They're very excited about the rookie out of Maryland. And Jeremy Hill has nowhere to go. It's a 2-yard pickup as Shazier and Timmons collaborate on the tackle.
And rookie Sean Davis, the second-round pick this year, is going to come on a blitz here. Here he is right here, right into the backfield. That changes the course for Hill and allows Shazier and Timmons to clean it up.
Watch it.
Cincinnati looking to convert on a 3rd and 6. Dalton, deep ball, airs it out, nobody home. A.J. Green, double coverage, penalty marker down at the 37 of Cincinnati.
Be a legal procedure against the Bengals on that 3rd down.
So Pete Morelli will decline it.
Illegal shift. Offense. The penalty will be declined. 4th down.
So the Bengals will punt it. But we asked Marvin Lewis about all of the emotion leading into this game, and he said, look, we addressed this in April. We knew it would come up this week, but last year doesn't matter. You move on.
You have no choice. The game is right in front of you. Happens to be against the Steelers, but you got to play it anyway.
Kevin Huber, booming punt. Eli Rogers from the 11. Looking for an opening. Rogers stacked up as he crossed the 15, a 51-yard punt. Flowers makes the play on special teams. Roethlisberger in the Steelers offense when we come back. That relationship between Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown is special. The communication, and Dan, the back shoulder throw. That's become in vogue, as we know, in the NFL. These two do it better than anybody.
They work on it a lot, too. We saw them in practice throwing it time after time. Not always hitting it either.
3 receiver set. D'Angelo Williams is drilled going up the middle by Vincent Ray, who stepped in for Vontaze Burfict. All right, take us through this.
Well, nobody executes it better than these two. According to Ben, the key is to see the relationship of Brown to the defensive back. He wants Antonio to always think about going deep, but he's so good at putting on the brakes that Ben has the confidence to cut it loose before Brown even looks back for the ball. 2nd and 9. They have not thrown the football yet. Jesse James is the motion man. And it's another running play. It's D'Angelo Williams. No Le'Veon Bell. He is serving a 3-game suspension for missing several drug tests. 2.5-yard gain on the play. Josh Shaw and Adam Jones combining there. And Jones is a part of this story when it's the back shoulder because he's got to actually go out and defend it. Shotgun. Roethlisberger steps up. He throws. It's complete.
Antonio Brown, first down across the 35, 16-yard pickup.
Now against the zone defense, you saw Jones backing off at the snap of the ball, and that allowed Brown a free release to read the defense. Jones playing inside coverage there, but you can see how the safety came over Sean Williams, but Brown's smart enough to settle down between him and Jones.
Out of the gun once again, running play to Williams. Looking for blockers, Williams turns the corner. The speed from the 33-year-old, who's getting better with age. 11-yard pickup to Castro. A big key on that line.
Well, to get outside, you got to get a good block from your tight end. This is Jesse James filling in for Heath Miller. You can see he does a good job on Carlos Dunlap there, but you talk about the speed to get that corner. I think that D'Angelo Williams there surprised the Bengals on that 11-yard gain.
Todd Haley, offensive coordinator, calling the plays. His 5th year with Pittsburgh, former head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. They spread it now with a 5-receiver look. New set of downs to work with. Roethlisberger standing tall in the pocket, floats one upstairs and throws it away over the head of 6'7" Jesse James. The heat came from Michael Johnson on the play.
And getting back to Todd Haley, who has really done a super job coordinating this offense. The key today for the Steeler running a game is how well will Jesse James and David Johnson block the tall, athletic defensive ends Carlos Dunlap and Michael Johnson.
It's a dime package now for Cincinnati facing this Pittsburgh offense. Darqueze Dennard is the 6th. Dennard sprained his ankle August 1st. He was inactive last week. 2nd and 10 from the gun. Pump fake. Roethlisberger sets it up for James. Jesse James hauls it in. No Heath Miller. No problem for Pittsburgh. 11 yards on the pickup with Dansby there in tight coverage.
Well, and Ben knows he's got a 6'7" receiver. Watch where he puts this ball. Over the top of Dansby, right to the hands of James. And James with good job of getting his feet down, securing the catch for another first down.
Roethlisberger said that James fits the mold of a Pittsburgh tight end. He does the grimy work, as he put it. Smart, and he learned a lot from Heath Miller. Williams up the gut, and a gain of only 1 on the play. With NFL Game Pass, replay every game this season, including playoffs and the Super Bowl. Start a free trial today at NFL.com/Game Pass. Pittsburgh is now in Cincinnati territory. Defensive coordinator Paul Gunther in his 3rd year at the position, 12th year overall with the organization. This is a 2nd and 9 for the Steelers on a 4-receiver set. Roethlisberger loses the football, and it's incomplete. We asked Adam Jones about the weather and the potential of rain. He said, "Oh, I like that." And we asked him why. He said, because Ben could get a little sloppy with the ball.
Well, he was this time. This ball's just going to slip right out of his hands. He's going to change his mind here, try to haul the ball back to his body. And now the Steelers.
77 offense. 5-yard penalty.
Gilbert with the false
Remains
start.
3rd down.
They are so rock solid on that offensive line. Gilbert, a big-time player. DeCastro, Pouncey, Foster. The area, if you want to call it concern, was left tackle, but they feel that Villanueva has come along nicely. Now in his 2nd year as a starter. He actually had a tryout for the Cincinnati Bengals in a rookie minicamp when he came out of Army. He said that did so much for his confidence to believe that he could one day play in the NFL, even though they tried him out at tight end. Roethlisberger to Williams. D'Angelo Williams banged down as he crossed the 40-yard line.
The other thing about that offensive line, Ian, is it's coached by Mike Munchak, the Hall of Famer, and just an outstanding offensive line coach. Decision time now for Mike Tomlin. Is this close enough? They're going to go for it on 4th down here. 4th and 5. Too far for a field goal try.
There really is no man's land here for Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin didn't waste any time. On a 4th and 5, Roethlisberger, low throw, and handled by Adam Jones. Is it a clean pick, or is it incomplete? The reality is, if he didn't intercept it, it would have been better for field position, but when the ball's that close, Adam Jones is going to go down and get it. Roethlisberger turns it over for Pittsburgh.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Corona, who invites you to find your beach. And by Fiat.
Well, I know Ben Roethlisberger isn't going to miss Reggie Nelson, who signed with Oakland, because Nelson was on the receiving end of a number of those interceptions over the last few years. But Adam Jones is still there. A.J. Green, and that was incomplete. Back to the pick.
Yeah, this is an all-out blitz. Watch all 8 guys coming after Roethlisberger, and this is what you dream about as a quarterback. They all get picked up. You got Brown man-to-man with inside shade. He's on his way to the end zone, and for some reason, maybe that ball slipped out of his hand for the second time on that drive.
Sean Williams looped around and got in the face of Ben as Jeremy Hill carries it for 3. Arthur Moats stepping in for Bud Dupree. Now that's a big loss, Dupree. Sports hernia on injured reserve, out at least the first 8 weeks for Pittsburgh, but Moats was comfortable playing there last year. Now in his 3rd year with the Steelers, 7th year overall. Sets up 3rd and 7 for Cincinnati. Shotgun for Dalton. Dalton lofts it off the hands of Uzama. 2nd-year tight end from Auburn. So the conditions certainly playing a role early.
Yeah, this ball is thrown poorly by Dalton. You can see how shiny that ball is. That's a wet ball, and it slips right through the hands of Uzama. Tough catch, having to turn his body for that poorly thrown pass.
Antonio Brown waiting for the punt from Kevin Huber. Brown has done serious damage on special teams in his career against Cincinnati. Spiraling kick. Brown backpedals from the 20. Brown cuts it upfield. A 54-yard punt. Brown takes it just short of the 35 for a 14-yard return. Josh Shaw on special teams with a tackle. 5:29 to go in the first. Thursday, your weekend starts here. The Houston Texans tangle with the New England Patriots. Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Line of scrimmage is the 34. No score. The Bengals and the Steelers. David Johnson sets up in front of D'Angelo Williams. On first down, it's Williams going up the middle and will pick up a yard.
Well, both quarterbacks have had problems with the weather. Been raining since kickoff. You can see a bobbled snap there, and now an aborted pass attempt by Roethlisberger, and Dalton misfires on that pass. And traditionally, this field has been one of the sloppiest in the NFL. They had a tarp on it before the game, took it off. As soon as they took it off, the rain started to fall.
Steelers playing without Marcus Wheaton, missing this game with a shoulder injury. He sat out last week's game with the same issue, the victory in Washington. Roethlisberger waits, throws, nobody there. Incomplete in the area of Xavier Grimble. NFL Today update, JB and Coach Cowher.
A Brady-like start.
Yeah, how about this start? 9 of 10, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. This one to Martellus Bennett from 20 yards out. In New England up 14-0. Pretty good start, huh, Dan?
Back to Ian, Dan, and Evan.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. That wasn't Brady. That was Garoppolo.
Yes,
wow.
yes. Did you get the memo?
Really good coaching, I think. No, never get the memo.
You're not on the email list. 3rd and 9. Roethlisberger spins out of trouble, buys some time. Roethlisberger floats it upstairs. It's caught by Sammy Coates. First down. Ben Roethlisberger creating for Pittsburgh.
Just a case of Ben being Ben. Nobody extends the play better than Roethlisberger. There's really good pressure, too, by the Bengals. He has to pivot out of the pocket, but his eyes are down the field. He feels the presence coming of Marcus Hunt, and look at the soft toss to Coates beyond the defense. Huge play of 44 yards.
Now Coates wants to eat. Pittsburgh just wants him to hold on to the football more consistently. 2 tight ends in this formation. And Roethlisberger will use a timeout with 4:35 remaining in the first quarter. Pittsburgh short-handed once again, moving down the field.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
It's been raining prior to kickoff. Started about an hour and a half before kick. And it's continued right into play. First quarter action with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati scoreless. Steelers on the move. Give it to Williams. It's a cut. Williams is tackled just short of the 20-yard line by Geno Atkins. No gain.
Now go back to the 44-yard completion of a moment ago. Sammy Coates is going to run a route right down the middle here, but watch out as he realizes his quarterback is in trouble.
For the Bengals 21.
He's going to stop and then take off down the field as Ben is backpedaling and softly puts it over the shoulder to Sammy Coates. Beautiful throw and catch.
Sammy Coates now in his second year in the league out of Auburn, 3rd-round pick in 2015. 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger fires, handled. Xavier Grimble, touchdown. Steelers strike first on a bullet to Grimble.
That's his first NFL catch and making a touchdown as he goes over George Iloka and then stretches out, breaks the plane. The ball will come loose after he clearly has broken the plane by the time that left knee hit the ground.
An undrafted free agent was with the practice squad of San Francisco and New England. And now he's got his first NFL catch. It's a touchdown from Ben Roethlisberger, 20 yards.
Now Pete Morelli's going to come over because this is a scoring play. He'll go under the hood. Maybe just wants to get out of the rain.
He's looking for shelter? Is that your point?
Well, it seems like it's lightened up a little bit.
Can we get him a poncho?
Well, you know, the terrible towel has turned into the terrible poncho, hasn't it?
It has. You do whatever you got to do to stay dry. Touchdown under review. Right now it's 6-0.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. A touchdown.
6 on the board for Pittsburgh. And it's Grimble out of USC with a memento. Extra point coming here for Chris Boswell. Barry holds it. Boswell knocks it through, and the Steelers in front, 7-0. The improvisation from Ben Roethlisberger to keep that drive alive, and it leads to that reaction from Big Ben. Week 2 continues later today on CBS. For some of you on Fox, then tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC. Tune in tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN. Steelers will kick it off after the touchdown reception for Grimble. 7-0 lead for Pittsburgh. 3:46 remaining in this opening quarter. 5 plays, 66 yards on the drive. It took 1:43. Boswell will kick it off. The rain has lightened up, and it is almost stopped here in Pittsburgh. That ball bounces through the back of the end zone. Bengals will have it at the 25.
There's no guarantee on extra points or field goals today against the Bengals. Here's Dunlap at 6'6". Here is Johnson at 6'7", and right in the middle here is Margus Hunt at 6'8". Watch how close 96 Dunlap comes to blocking this extra point. Of course, Hunt blocked a field goal last week. He almost got a piece of that one as well.
In fact, Hunt blocked 17 kicks during his career at SMU.
Really?
Oh, you didn't have that one, huh? First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Bernard, they fake it. Dalton snaps a pass to the sideline, and it's caught by the veteran Brandon LaFell. High praise from Andy Dalton in regards to LaFell, and also from A.J. Green, who said he's experienced, he's the ultimate pro, and he's a winner. Won a Super Bowl with New England. He just knows how to play.
Yeah, check out this formation. 4 receivers to the top of the field here.
Well, we'll see some funky formations here from Ken Zampese. Dalton. Fake and slide for Dalton, and he'll be marked down short of the 45-yard line. In fact, back at the 43, 5.5-yard gain.
Now this has got to be a pass play because there's nobody back here with Dalton. And he's looking for one of these 4 receivers on a pick route or a rub type of situation. Good job by the Steelers. They've seen it before.
Zampese, first year calling the plays, his 13th year as a coach with Cincinnati. Jackson was the offensive coordinator, now the head coach in Cleveland. Dalton sells the fake beautifully and connects downfield to A.J. Green. 12 catches, 180 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 13 times last week and made 12 grabs. That one covers 21 yards.
You see the redirect there attempt by Cockrell. And he takes a big shot in the back there from Robert Golden, but he hung on.
Shotgun. Dalton, fake, and throw. Tyler Croft on the receiving end, and Cincinnati bang, bang, and they're in Pittsburgh territory deep at the 15-yard line.
Well, I think with the rain kind of easing off, it's made it a little bit better for the quarterbacks. They're both a lot sharper on this last couple of series here, but Dalton getting back, and as he did so well last week against the Jets, avoiding a lot of that pressure, but by getting rid of the ball quickly.
Back-to-back 21-yard pass plays for Cincinnati. Under 2 minutes to go in the first. Bengals threatening, they trail 7-0. Bernard sets up to the left of Dalton. Giovanni Bernard gets through there, 3.5-yard gain. Russell Bodine lost his helmet on the play as Daniel McCullers was in on the stop.
His 14 rushers last week against the Jets for the Bengals. 5 carries in that ball game for Bernard. He did average 5 yards a carry.
Second and 6 for Cincinnati. Croft and Uzama, the tight ends. Uzama, the motion man. Operating out of the gun, Dalton. Quick hitter. Low throw. LaFell, the intended target. Incomplete. Well, Cincinnati ran the ball 46% of the time in 2015. That was 7th in the NFL. We're now seeing more passes from both of these teams. As you mentioned, Dan, the rain not as much of a factor as it was earlier in this quarter. 7th play of the drive. 1:05 to play in the first. Staring into a sea of terrible towels, Andy Dalton. Dalton rush coming, dumps it off. Bernard is bottled up inside the 10, hit by Mike Mitchell, who will throw his body around for Pittsburgh. Plays with a lot of emotion. 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, good job, Keith Butler, going with a zone coverage here and forcing Dalton to take the check down here, and then the rally to the ball and the big hit by Mitchell.
And Golden, it was a combination there. Field goal unit on. The veteran Mike Nugent for a 25-yard chip shot. He had what turned out to be the game winner last week, and Nugent knocks it through. 23 seconds left in the first. Pittsburgh has got a 7-3 lead. Well, the wild card game, we'll take you back. Cincinnati took the lead. A.J. Green, a touchdown, 1:50 left. It looks like the Bengals were going to get the win. Vontez Burfict picks off Landry Jones. The next play, Jeremy Hill fumbles. The Steelers have new life. 22 seconds left. Unnecessary roughness on Burfict. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Jones. 35-yard game-winning field goal for Boswell. The Steelers with the improbable win, 18-16 over the Bengals. We asked the coaches, we asked the players. They were not providing bulletin board material. D'Angelo Williams was the closest one to it, calling this a two chin strap game. We don't like them. They don't like us. That professional hatred is real. And Joey Porter, the linebacker coach, was involved in some of the theatrics as he was on the field, got into it with Adam Jones. Jones then bumped an official. That cost the Bengals 15 yards and set up an easier field goal for Boswell after Burfict had the hit on Brown. Burfict suspended, repeated violations of safety-related rules, and this next week, then he'll be eligible to return. Toussaint is the return man for Pittsburgh. Stood up before he hit the 20-yard line and driven down. It's Josh Shaw with the big smack on special teams. 17 seconds to play in the first, and the Steelers with a football and a 7-3 lead. Well, Ben Roethlisberger, 276 career touchdowns. That's 12th all time, and it's also 12th in passing yards. He passed, yeah, I'm sorry, Dan. I just look at the numbers, and I have to state facts. He passed Dan Fouts last week.
Yeah, but he was more impressed with passing Joe Montana with the touchdown passes. Yes. And he should have been.
We drove that up to because, you know, Montana was my guy growing up. Roethlisberger on a dump ball. David Johnson takes a shot. He didn't grow up in Southern California, but he grew up in this general area, so.
Yeah, and he's a, Pennsylvania guy now.
Yeah.
After being an Ohio guy before, so I'll give it
This
to him.
is the end of the
Congratulations.
first quarter.
It's awesome.
End of the first quarter, 7-3. The Steelers leading the Bengals. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Because of the history between these two teams, the officials were told to take control of this game early. Have you noticed anything?
Not really. We've only had one penalty, and that was a false start. So players are minding their business.
Xavier Grimble going airborne, trying to make that catch. It's incomplete. Carlos Dunlap with a hit on Ben Roethlisberger, and it brings up 3rd and 5 here in the early stages of the second quarter.
Now, Ben has taken a lot of shots in his career. He's taken a couple already today.
Oof.
And that one could get flagged. That was a crown of the helmet shot to the throat of Roethlisberger.
We've talked about these big hits he takes, Cam Newton takes. You don't see a lot of flags, and you think it's based on the fact that these guys are so big themselves. On a pass underneath to Eli Rogers, who gets into the ledger with a 9-yard grab. Darquez Denard spins him down. It's good enough for a first down. Do you believe that's the issue, that these guys don't get the benefit of the flag that other QBs do?
Absolutely. You talked about their size. They're the two biggest quarterbacks in the NFL, and Newton actually takes more shots because he's likely to run the ball more. But I think the officials see the size, and they don't see the impact as much as they do with smaller quarterbacks.
On first down for Pittsburgh, motion man is Antonio Brown. He's been held to one catch so far for 16 yards. Roethlisberger, deep drop, lost his footing. And it's on time, sliding grab by Jesse James. Not enough for a first down. Let's send it downstairs, get more from Evan Washburn. Evan?
Well, guys, as we learned in our meeting with Ben, they do keep track of all these hits in the QB room. They go over the tape on Monday. They track how many hits they feel should be flagged. And Ben was honest. He feels like he's earned the right to get a few of them, but he also mentioned sometimes it's to his benefit, extending plays.
And off to D'Angelo Williams, loops to the outside. Nice fake by Williams. And he ducks out of bounds. New set of downs to work with after the pickup of 7. Let's go to New York. JB, Coach Cowher, NFL Today update.
The beat goes on in New England.
It sure does. Jimmy Garoppolo's first half, 14 of 17, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was Danny Amendola's second of the day, 10 yards out, 21-0 over Miami.
Hey, Ian, is Dan Fouts salivating at that?
Whenever he sees passing touchdowns, yeah, there's some saliva.
I think I like quarterback controversies, too.
Sammy Coates, he gets hit as he came on the end around. Adam Jones flipped him over, 6-yard pickup. But Pittsburgh going into the bag of tricks a bit. Normally it's Cincinnati with the creativity on offense, and Jones just settling himself. He just took a knee down on the far side. I don't know if Adam Jones got dinged up there. Well, he did. Jones is down on one knee.
It's 2 plays in a row where the ball was run in his territory, and he was slow getting up after the first one, and he's not getting up just yet. But here's the shot here. Is it his right shoulder here as he goes right to the legs of Coates.
Well, Jones helping in run support there, and
they're checking out his left knee though.
Adam Jones.
This would be a huge loss for the Bengals.
We asked him about this matchup with Pittsburgh. He said, yeah, we know one another inside and out, and we're always eager for the challenge of playing the Steelers because that usually means there's a lot on the line within this tough division.
Now, the way they were looking at his leg, it looked more like it might have been a cramp or a muscle strain in the hamstring. But knowing Adam Jones, he might be playing a little possum. You know what I mean?
Really?
Really. I think he's so cagey and such a veteran that we'll see him again. And I bet the Steelers will challenge him. Roethlisberger's completed 8 passes so far in this first half. And really, the distribution couldn't be much better. He's hit 7 different receivers.
Jones went to the Pro Bowl last year. Josh Shaw on the field for Cincinnati. Darquez Denard as well. Shotgun. Another running play. Nothing there for D'Angelo Williams. Leans in for a yard. Dunlap in on the stop for the Bengals. Clock rolling. 12:15 left in this first half, and guess who's back? Adam Jones.
Well, you know, you look at what happened to the Bengals last week against the Jets when they gave up 152 yards on the ground. That got the attention of the Steelers, who had a good day rushing last week themselves against Washington. They gained 147 yards, so Steelers running the ball more than normal.
Cincinnati did an excellent job limiting Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker in that 23-22 win. Roethlisberger, big shot. Hayward Bay hit by Adam Jones. Yeah, I guess he's playing some possum. Little rope-a-dope.
Yeah, he's not fooling around. He recognized this route right away, and he breaks it up with a hit to the helmet.
And Pittsburgh will punt it. A part of this game, as we know, keeping your emotions in check, maintaining your poise. The officials certainly were told, do not let this get out of control. Fair catch from Erickson, 32-yard punt. Bengals get it back. They trail 7-3 in Pittsburgh. The Bengals hosted their Taste of the NFL event back in June, raising money for a local food bank. Fans mingled with players and coaches while helping feed those families who need it most. The cost of one admission to the event helps provide 525 meals to children and families in the area. Good stuff from the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh's got a 7-3 lead with 11:35 left in this first half from Heinz Field. Well, so far for the Bengals, a couple of punts and a field goal. Their only points on the board. And a 1st and 10 for Cincinnati deep in its own territory. Giovanni Bernard hit and then pushed forward. So it'll end up gaining no yards, what would have been a loss on the play. Steelers were prepared for Bernard trying to cut it to the outside.
And Bernard was prepared to hang on to that ball. Dangerous part of the field right here. He wrapped that ball up with both arms as he was being pushed up the field.
Remember, he was knocked unconscious in the wild card loss to Pittsburgh. 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Fake it. Dalton guns it. Incomplete. Nowhere close to Uzomah, who took a shot after the ball passed him by.
Well, Uzomah's one of those tight ends that can play out in space. And also at the line of scrimmage, you can see another perhaps questionable late hit here by Mike Mitchell. Uzomah definitely vulnerable.
Steelers come out with a dime package. Artie Burns is the 6th defender back there. Play clock down to 4. Dalton on a 3rd and 10. To the sideline, but short of a first down. Uzama, momentum carried him towards the perimeter, and he picks up a modest gain of just 2 yards. Cincinnati goes 3 and out.
We talked about the pass distribution for the Steelers. Dalton has now hit 6 different receivers for his 6 completions. But A.J. Green with just 1 catch for 21 yards.
Antonio Brown waiting for the punt from Kevin Huber. Brown standing at his own 38-yard line. Sailing kick, backpedaling. Brown from the 33. Brown trying to circle, and they gang up on him on special teams. Line of scrimmage will be the 37 as the snapper Clark Harris came down to make the play. 55-yard punt. Low-scoring game first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by Genesis. Take a breath of fresh luxury.
Rain is tapered off here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers 7, Cincinnati 3. 10-12 to go in the first half. Best opening field position for a drive for Pittsburgh here today. Shotgun, Roethlisberger. While the pocket collapses, Roethlisberger won't go down, but they'll whistle him down as Will Clark will get credit for it, a Pittsburgh native out of Taylor Alderdice High School, the Dragons.
Yeah, number 93 now has 1.5 sacks in his short career. But he'll always remember not being able to get Ben all the way down. But you know, a lot of times he's had to hesitate back there. The secondary coverage has been excellent, forcing Roethlisberger to come off his primary read.
It's a loss of 9 on the play. Can they get Antonio Brown involved here? Won't come from this play as DeAndre Williams cuts it upfield and drives for a 3-yard pickup. Michael Johnson, Geno Atkins combined to bring down Williams, who told us this really was the perfect storm for him. The perfect team, perfect system, coaches, teammates. It could not have worked out any better. There was a lot going on in his life. His mom passed away. He got released by Carolina. He was having his 3rd child. And Pittsburgh was the right spot at the right moment for his career.
And really surprised a lot of people last year, filling in for Le'Veon Bell, doing an outstanding job, and what a great start to this season in that same role.
3rd and 16. Roethlisberger looks downfield, fires it. It's too high for Antonio Brown. He was looking for a flag on Sean Williams. They locked up Williams to a new deal, 4 years, $19.5 million. A thumper, former 3rd-round pick from Georgia.
Well, you see, they're going to double him. Jones lets him go to the inside, and now over the top comes the defender, Sean Williams. And Roethlisberger, stepping up in the pocket, put too much on that ball.
And the sack was really the killer. It just threw everything off schedule. 9-yard loss on first down. Jordan Berry boots it. Good punt. Adam Jones from the 11. Jones high-stepping it with a flag down. He's to the 20, slides down there, another flag. 58-yard punt, a 9-yard return. And Dangerfield looking for some respect over there from the officials.
Really, huh?
Well, it was too easy. He was raising his arm saying that something happened on special teams as he was trying to make the play.
Well, Marquise Flowers, I think, is going to get called for the block in the back here. But let me tell you.
I'll tell you. 8:31 mark of this second quarter. And the officials huddling up. This is a new crew for Pete Morelli.
During return, there are 3 fouls. Holding, number 86. That penalty would be declined. Holding, number 42.
Okay.
Correction, block in the back, number 42. That penalty would be declined. And an illegal block in the back, number 53. That penalty would be accepted. 10-yard penalty, first down. 10, timeout.
Well, take your pick, and Pete chooses Flowers. perfect Sunday. Andy Dalton, Ben Roethlisberger leading their respective teams. Right now it's Big Ben and the Steelers in front 7-3 over the Bengals. Once again, Cincinnati starts off deep in its own territory. On a 1st and 10 from the 9, Jeremy Hill, nothing there. 1-yard pickup. Lawrence Timmons with the hit. Numbers so far through the years: 7 wins for Roethlisberger, Dalton with 3, 13 touchdowns compared to 11 picks. So Cincinnati's defense has done an excellent job against Big Ben. Hill sets up. Next to Dalton on a 2nd and 9. Dalton throws it. Tyler Boyd, nice effort by Boyd, with Ryan Shazier there defensively. Boyd, Clairton High School, the Clairton High School Bears. He's played on this field so many times because of his college days at Pitt. Dalton trying to get out of trouble, and he's not going to take any chances. Ryan Shazier had a beat on the quarterback. Cincinnati 3 and out.
Now you just see the speed of Shazier as he's just going to shoot the gap here. Totally unblocked, and then he's so much faster than Dalton. Dalton wisely just throws that ball away, but a blitz again on 3rd down for the Steelers pays off. Another 3 and out deep in their own end of the field for Cincinnati.
Now it's Eli Rogers, the deep man at the 35-yard line. Huber's punt. Comes Rogers to the 34. Rogers has room. Just before he hits midfield, he's brought down by Croft and Burkhead on special teams. A 48-yard punt, a 15-yard return, and a tight one in Pitt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by Bud Light, beer with your team on it.
Steelers allowed the most passing yards in franchise history last season. 272 yards per game through the air. That's not been an issue here today. Andy Dalton's been held in check. Steelers with a 7-3 lead. They hand it off to DeAngelo Williams. Spin move on Pat Sims for no gain. Tonight, what does a submarine with 200 nuclear warheads on it look like? Find out on a new story on 60 Minutes, plus an interview with the Libertarian candidates for president. That's tonight, 60 Minutes. 2nd and 10. Just under 7 minutes to go in this first half. Antonio Brown, 1 catch, 16 yards. Williams gets the call. Williams slammed down by Pecco. In celebration mode, Domata Pecco making the play on the defensive line.
And so often a nose tackle is going to be double teamed. Here's Pecco right here. Foster and Pouncey are going to try a combination block there, but a great job by Pecco discarding Pouncey and cutting back when Williams cuts back.
So it brings up 3rd and 10 for Pittsburgh. 158 total yards for the Steelers. Cincinnati with 101. Rain is stopped here at Heinz Field. Deep drop, but Roethlisberger slips. Roethlisberger gets up, throws it downfield. It's dropped! Antonio Brown, it bounces right off his chest.
Well, Jesse James, he got away with one here. He's blocking on Dunlap. And watch Dunlap come in, and Jones just grabs his right arm. But how about the drop pass, though, at the other end? This was going to be a huge play for Pittsburgh. And now Drake Kirkpatrick slow getting up.
Earlier it was Adam Jones. Now it's Kirkpatrick. Brown upset at himself. Uncharacteristic from Antonio Brown. Drake Kirkpatrick, the other starter, along with Adam Jones.
Browns is basically frustrated. He has 1 catch in this first half for just 16 yards. That's after 8 last week for 126.
And last week, he ended up getting fined over $20,000 because of his shoes and for his touchdown celebration. I believe they got him on the 3rd pump on the celebration.
The McCringleberry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the McCringleberry.
Yeah, and Michael Bennett in Seattle, he kind of got away with it. He only went with 2 pumps. See, you got to know your limit.
Exactly. Limit your pumps. And now we're going to get a punt from Jordan Berry. Alex Erickson standing at his own 7-yard line. This drive would have continued with a first down into Cincinnati territory. Why would you field it there at the 5? 46-yard punt.
That's a rookie mistake by Alex Erickson. That ball clearly had a better shot at going into the end zone, bring it out to the 20.
Penalty marker at the 33. Darren Simmons, special teams coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, now in his 13th year.
It's a problem when you trust a rookie to bring back your punts.
Undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 42, receiving team. Half his distance to the goal, first down.
Well, that makes it worse. Clayton Fedulum, the rookie from Illinois. So 2 Big Ten mistakes on special teams.
And again, 3 straight possessions now for the Bengals, starting at the 10, the 9, and now looks like the 2.5. And they've been able to do absolutely nothing coming off their own goal line.
Crowd getting involved. 5:55 remaining in this first half. 3 tight ends for Cincinnati. Take the handoff. Dalton throws out of the end zone. Incomplete. He tried to squeeze it in there to A.J. Green. Ross Cockrell, the main man in coverage.
Now Cockrell is 6 foot, 191 pounds, and he does a good job of reading that route and getting help from Mike Mitchell. A.J. Green still with just 1 catch.
So the whole dynamic duo storyline has not developed in this first half. Dalton gets rid of it quickly. Timing is off, and it's incomplete. A.J. Green going to the outside. Dalton threw it early because of the pressure from Pittsburgh.
And you can see Keith Butler's idea of having Cockrell follow A.J. Green from side to side. That's a risky throw because if it's picked off, it's a walk-in touchdown for Pittsburgh.
In this second quarter, Cincinnati has 11 total yards and 11 penalty yards. This is a 3rd and 10 for the Bengals. They go conservative. Giovanni Bernard. And it's short of the 5-yard line. Brought down by William Gay, and that gets this crowd energized.
The Steelers doing a real good job defensively, especially with this type of field position. Knowing the Bengals not using any of their trick formations, just trying to get the ball to a first down marker. And the Steelers playing a lot of zone, keeping their eyes on the ball carrier and the receivers.
Well, this is the danger zone for Kevin Huber. Margin of error is slim. High, handled, Huber shanked it. Out of bounds. Steelers take over inside the Cincinnati 40. The line of scrimmage will be the 36 after the 32-yard punt. First down for the Steelers as we send it downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, and as these two teams trade punts, just to give you an idea, and Dan, you touched on frustration from Antonio Brown. Both sidelines for a game that had so much buildup honestly feels lifeless. It's as if each team's waiting for some big event to happen or big play to happen. It just hasn't to this point. It's an odd feeling in this type of game.
But, you know, if you look back at the most recent matchups between these two teams, it hasn't been explosive offense. It's been more defensive-oriented. The explosive offense has come against other teams. Roethlisberger, incomplete. Eli Rogers right down the middle with Josh Shaw, stride for stride.
And Josh Shaw got an interception last week against the Jets. But watch the coverage here. Shaw letting Rodgers go to the middle, ball thrown behind. Poor pass that time by Roethlisberger. It appeared that Rodgers had a step. 4 straight incompletions now for Roethlisberger.
Dre Kirkpatrick is back out there. It was a hamstring issue for him. It's a pitch. D'Angelo Williams, shake and bake. That's actually Darrell Richardson getting his first carry. Richardson in his 3rd year in the NFL, so a little change of pace here for Pittsburgh. Now, you talked about Cincinnati's inability to stop the run last week against the Jets. Jets ran it for 152 yards. And Pittsburgh trying to really push that theme here in the first half. Williams is back in on a 3rd and 4. Shotgun for Roethlisberger. Motion man is Brown. Jones sticking with Brown. Roethlisberger. Low throw. It's incomplete.
He wanted Antonio Brown on a crossing route from left to right. The coverage was perfect on Brown. So again, Roethlisberger having to go to his 2nd or 3rd receiver, and with pressure from the Bengals, causes another inaccurate pass.
Promising start here for Pittsburgh on this drive. And it turns into a 49-yard attempt for Chris Boswell. From 49 yards away, he's got it, and then some. Steelers add to their lead. Up 7 on Cincinnati in the 2nd quarter. 10-3 lead for Pittsburgh. 4:10 remaining in this first half. It's been a long 2nd quarter here at Heinz Field. Burkhead, the return man, and will take a knee there. Cincinnati will have it at the 25-yard line. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, the latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Well, Cincinnati allowed 7 sacks last week. That's the most Andy Dalton has ever been sacked in a ball game. The Steelers did not register any sacks last week, and they are yet to come up with a sack here today. They were 3rd in the NFL last season with 48 sacks. Shotgun, Dalton puts it up high. Bernard has got some space and gets to the outside. Lawrence Timmons with a tackle. It's a 7-yard pickup through the air.
A really good blocking on the perimeter by the wide receivers that time. Brandon LaFell just did a super job of allowing Bernard to get extra yardage after the catch.
The Bengals have not scored over 21 points in 13 straight games against Pittsburgh. Dalton's pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Giovanni Bernard, and it brings up 3rd and 3.
This is so frustrating for a quarterback. He's got his receiver open, but there's Hayward getting up. 6'5", very athletic, and read the eyes of the quarterback there.
Yeah, Hayward was asked about the rivalry with Cincinnati. He said, really, the rivalry I look at is Baltimore within the division. That's been more storied. I'm not trying to create controversy, but the rivalry with Cincinnati is still developing. That was Hayward's honest opinion when asked the question. Shotgun, Dalton on 3rd and 3. On time, Tyler Boyd. Marvin Lewis said he has been better than they expected. Things are not too big for him. He's actually been hearing about him for years from his dad, who's a Pittsburgh native. So Boyd, a Pittsburgh guy. Marvin Lewis got the scouting report way back in Boyd's early high school days. Running play, Bernard. Spin move. Trying to get out of the tackle. Timmons holding on, and then he got some help. It's a 2-yard pickup.
Bengals now 2 of 8 on 3rd downs. They had failed on their last 6 after converting their first one of the day, but that pass to Boyd gets him out to midfield and breathing a little easier.
2nd and 8, under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Dalton downfield. Pop loose, Uzama. It's incomplete. C.J. Uzama took a shot and could not hold on to the football. Is this a catch?
Nope. That's a great hit by Mitchell right on the ball to dislodge it, but that's not a catch and fumble. He's got to be able to make a football move after the catch, get 2 feet down. Looked like he only had 1 foot down.
And Uzomah shaken up. 3rd and 8 for Cincinnati at midfield. 10-3 lead for the Steelers. 2:42 to play, first half. Dalton checks it down. Bernard keeps the legs moving, but it's short of a first down. 5-yard gain. Anthony Chiquillo in on that stop for Pittsburgh.
That was a great matchup, too, with Shazier and Bernard in the open field. 2 really supreme athletes going head-to-head there, and Shazier with a little bit of help kept Bernard from that first down.
So Pittsburgh mixing and matching. Chiquillo was a college defensive end. He's playing linebacker for this Steelers squad. This is going to hit the 2-minute mark. So Huber will have to wait, and so will Eli Rogers. Pittsburgh will get the football back with a 7-point lead. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB and the rest of the gang. Latest NFL scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Verizon Halftime Report. Fair catch called for. Pittsburgh will have it now inside its own 10 after the 37-yard punt from Huber.
Well, we expected a lot more production out of both Green and Brown today, but the coverage has been pretty good. Bengals mixing it up on Brown, and he had that one big drop, but A.J. Green not able to get loose as well. But you still have a feeling that either one of them or both of them are going to make a play here to get a little bit of energy in the stadium and affect the outcome.
5-7.
Steelers have just under 2 minutes to work with. They've got a 10-3 lead on Cincinnati from the 8-yard line. D'Angelo Williams running room. Williams runs into his own man, Rogers. So Sean Williams, who was covering Rogers there, will get credit for the tackle. It's an 8-yard pickup. Clock is moving. Steelers have 2 timeouts left, and it's a 2nd and 2 for Pittsburgh. 15 carries, 45 yards for D'Angelo Williams. Roethlisberger pump fake. Deep ball looking for Coates, and too far. Sammy Coates has speed, but he couldn't catch up to that one, covered by Kirkpatrick out on the perimeter.
Now, they were tangled up about 10 yards down the field on this go route. Both guys grabbing at each other. The officials let him play, and that ball threw the timing off for Roethlisberger, who has now thrown 6 straight in the ground.
Rain is not a factor, but it doesn't mean that the conditions aren't wet.
Monday, hey, right here.
Had a light drizzle just a few minutes ago, but it stopped again. Roethlisberger, a 3rd and 2. Pushed, floats it to Williams. Not every quarterback can hang in there when you know you're about to get hit and still deliver.
Well, how frustrating for the defense. You can see that Foster's got a bunch of jersey there, holding on Geno Atkins. Atkins unable to get to Roethlisberger as he converts the first down.
And Foster gets away with one. Steelers move the chains. Deep ball, airing it out. Simultaneous with Coates and Kirkpatrick with the interception. Coates and Kirkpatrick going after it, and it's Dre Kirkpatrick winning the battle. 2nd INT of the day for Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't think Coates was expecting this ball. He slowed down about 30 yards down the field. Kirkpatrick did not. Pins him to the sideline. Uses his body to rebound that ball and pick it off and give the Bengals a shot here at the end of the first half.
Kirkpatrick came away with the football, and Coates came away with Kirkpatrick on the hug. Cincinnati has 3 timeouts left, and they take over at the Bengals 32. Giovanni Bernard in the backfield. Dalton, the fake, the dump off. Bernard, good cut. Bernard, the speed. Bernard makes a man miss. And he's cut down as he crossed the 45. Bodine and Zeitler with blocks upfield. 24-yard catch and run.
Well, Zeitler gets a great block here. In fact, he's shaken up a little bit because it was such a good hit. Watch as he's going to clear the way here with his shot on Sean Davis. And Bernard heading straight up the field gets into Steeler territory. 24 yards on the game, but watch Zeitler right here. And then a good block also by Bodine. And the Bengals have got at least a shot at a field goal here as they have 2 timeouts remaining.
Giovanni Bernard, 4 catches, 40 yards. They have not established the ground game, similar to last week against the Jets. Jeremy Hill's been limited to 13 yards on the ground. Bernard, 7 yards. 32 plays for Cincinnati, 21 passes. This will be 22. Dalton pumps a pass, incomplete. Brandon LaFell got hit low by William Gay. Couldn't secure it, and then once Gay made contact, it was over.
It's a chess match with the coordinators here. This time just a 3-man rush for Pittsburgh. That allows the Steelers to play 8 in the zone. Gay with a quick read on LaFell and a good clean shot to knock that ball out of his grasp.
Both quarterbacks are 50% completion rate or lower. Mike Nugent, they still need some yards for Nugent. Line of scrimmage is the 44. Dalton, a deep drop. Rush is coming. Dalton dumps it off to Croft. And Tyler Croft is out of bounds.
Pass complete to Croft.
So catch and run by Croft, who grew up a big Jason Witten fan. 7-yard pickup. Witten still going strong for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, Kevin Huber's career long is 58 yards.
Well, Nugent.
Excuse me, Nugent's career long. This would be about a 55-yarder for Nugent.
And a shotgun now for Dalton on a 3rd and 3.
Apex left!
Dalton, sidearm, almost intercepted. And probably should have been, but Jarvis Jones isn't used to those kinds of plays. So now you're looking at a 55-yard attempt or a 4th and 3 for Cincinnati.
It looks like Marvin Lewis going to leave his offense on the field here. I think Jarvis Jones there was thinking, how far can I run with this one? Went right between his hands and dead in the chest.
If you miss it, Pittsburgh will take over with 2 timeouts and a little less than 20 seconds to play. On a 4th and 3, trying to convert. Dalton, he's got his man, Uzama. And it's a first down with a timeout called. 16 seconds left. Ryan Shazier with the tackle. And now the Bengals in field goal range, but still have a little bit of time to work with here and 1 timeout remaining.
But you can see the Steelers determined not to have A.J. Green make a play. They're playing a lot of zone during this drive. Last couple of plays to keep A.J. Green from making a big play to get in the end zone.
Zampese in a new role. Andy Dalton said, yeah, he still is involved with the quarterbacks. He was the quarterback coach, obviously, for years, but it's not his only focus now, calling the plays. See what they call on a 1st and 10. Right now they're looking at a 50-yard field goal. Dalton downfield. There's A.J. Green with the catch with 10 seconds left in this first half. Second grab for Green. That one covers 17 yards.
Well, it's zone again, but Green is going to beat it this time. Cockrell will pass him off to the safety, but the sharp cut to the outside separates him from Sean Davis. Ball right on target, and the Bengals now have a shot to take at least 1 throw to the end zone.
10 seconds left. Cincinnati has 1 timeout remaining. Shotgun for Dalton.
Hey, Apex left! Apex left! Let's go!
Bengals looking for the tie. Pump, throw, end zone, knocked away. LaFell, the intended receiver, and it's Artie Burns. The rookie out of Miami makes the play for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is why they picked him number 1. Look at the ability here to see the ball and make sure LaFell doesn't make it the catch in the back of the end zone. He got about 2 fingers on it, but that was enough.
The 25th overall pick in the first round just saved a touchdown. 33-yard attempt here for Nugent. With 5 seconds left in the half. Huber will hold it. Nugent. Perfect. 10-6. Pittsburgh. Time has run out in this first half. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. AFC North action in week number 2. Two teams that have serious aspirations this year to do something special. Cincinnati will receive the second half kickoff, but at the break, the Pittsburgh Steelers lead it 10-6 over the Bengals. 185 total yards in the first half for Cincinnati, 176 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach, offense was a grind for both teams. What's it going to take for you to get that group going in the second half?
You know, I just think it's the nature of this matchup. We're both very familiar. The defenses are controlling the action right now, and it's whatever offense breaks out here in the second half. Hopefully it's us.
Mike, thanks for stopping by.
You know it.
All right, thanks very much, Evan. End of the first half. The Steelers with a 10-6 lead on Cincinnati. We'll come back. Verizon Halftime Report is coming up after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS Week 2.
Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The rain continues to come down here in Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger fires. Xavier Grimble. Touchdown. Steelers strike first. Getting ready for the start of the second half at Heinz Field. The Steelers 10, the Bengals 6. But now let's take a look at the first half highlight presented by DirecTV. Not a lot of offense to speak of, but here's your touchdown. Roethlisberger to Grimble.
Yeah, 20-yarder for his first NFL catch, and Ben, that's about as happy we see him all that first half. Really a lot of frustrations on both sides of the football, especially on the offenses.
Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts. Evan Washburn down on the sidelines. No bad behavior to speak of in this first half. Part of the anticipation of this matchup coming off the wild card affair back in January was whether or not there would be any kind of carryover. That really has not been a storyline here.
Well, it's still early. We still have a second half to play, and this
That's true.
has been a defensive battle and will continue to. For Cincinnati, they got to open it up. The only time that they really were impressive on offense is when Dalton was throwing the ball.
Yep.
They cannot run the ball at all against the Steeler defense. And for the Steelers, offensively, they're just not protecting Ben enough to where he can get the big plays down the field.
So we start this third quarter with Cincinnati receiving the kick. Rex Burkhead is deep for the Bengals. Chris Boswell will kick it off. And the second half is underway. Burkhead's not going to take this one out of the end zone. Bengals have it at the 25 downstairs to Evan Washburn.
Line Marvin Lewis pins the offensive struggles on field position, especially in the punting game. Those penalties backing them up. He feels like they did gain some momentum with that drive to close out the first half. Defensively, he said this is how this game's going to be played. Loves what they're doing with AB, keeping him out of those areas of the field, Dan, that he loves to be effective in.
Well, Cincinnati has been excellent on the road. Last 5 years, 25-14 on the road. That's the third best mark in the league over that span. And Dalton trying to do it again here in Pittsburgh. Shovel dropped by Hill. Play was breaking down. Dalton tried to create something, and now it's 2nd and 10 for Cincinnati. Numbers in the first half. 2 turnovers for the Steelers. 2 Ben Roethlisberger interceptions. And Pittsburgh's got a 10-6 lead on the Bengals. Split the regular season series last year. Each team winning on the road. And, of course, Pittsburgh winning the wild card game in Cincinnati. Jeremy Hill securing the football there. 3-yard pickup. Jarvis Jones in on the hit for Pittsburgh. And it brings up 3rd and 7 now for Cincinnati.
And third downs have not been kind to the Bengals. Just 2 of 10 in that first half. This is a difficult one because of the distance needed for the first down.
Watch it. Hey, got Ralph over here.
Dime package here for Pittsburgh.
Out here. Ralph. Oh. Ralph.
Bernard flanks Dalton. Rush coming. Bernard helps. Almost picked off by Cockrell. Tyler Boyd, the intended target. The Bengals go 3 and out to open up this third quarter.
A good combination defense here this time because Cockrell will come off his primary coverage guy, and that's A.J. Green, and read the route to the inside receiver here. And that's a mistake by the receiver not continuing on his route, and Cockrell almost coming up with a huge pickoff.
Devin Huber. Well, they got pressure, but Huber gets rid of it. Wobbly kick to Rodgers. Rodgers work in the middle of the field. Lost the football. Bengals claim they've got it. Rodgers trying to get some extra yardage out across the 35-yard line.
Well, he doesn't have the ball now as he's on the top of the pile trying to dig it out.
Cincinnati pointing. They're peeling off that pile, and Pittsburgh has got it.
They're saying that the receiver was down by contact when the ball came loose. See if we can hear the whistle. Well, that's got to be looked at. That was so close. You can see the hand on the ball.
But Dan, Darius Hayward-Bay ended up with the football either way. So the only question would be where you're spotting the football. As they peeled off that pile, it was Hayward-Bay who had it. Rodgers, his neck got jerked a bit, and the ball got popped out of there by Burkhead. Steelers have it at the 33-yard line, and Marvin Lewis wants a deeper explanation here. And he's got it from Pete Morelli. So I think his special teams coach, Darren Simmons, was...
There's no challenge on the play.
Asking Marvin Lewis, why aren't we challenging this? So Pittsburgh opens up this drive. First possession of the second half of the Steelers offense from its own 33-yard line. Brown, the motion man. Throw it to him. Brown. Modest gain. Vincent Ray behind him, not allowing him to turn the corner and move upfield. Instead, he moves east-west for a 3-yard pickup.
But you get to just a little bit of a glimpse of what Todd Haley has in mind. Moving Brown in motion from one side of the formation to the other and throwing him basically what was a little screen pass.
Ben Roethlisberger is 10 of 22, 131 yards, the touchdown, and the 2 picks. Give it to Williams, driving ahead. Williams slithers through that hole, and he's got a first down. 8-yard pickup. Malaluga got him low for the tackle.
Well, you know, he's 5'9", and watch as he, did you say slither? He does slither here. And he slithered last week to get a touchdown against the Redskins on a similar type of move. He goes low with good power and splits or slithers through the tacklers.
What did he do?
3 slithers in one play.
That's a tongue twister. D'Angelo Williams, nowhere to go there. No gain on the play. Malaluga once again there defensively. D'Angelo Williams, when we asked him about coming to Pittsburgh and he mentioned that everything lined up correctly, he also said there was a Memphis connection. He went to Memphis. Mike Tomlin at one point was a grad assistant there. Keith Butler was a linebacker coach there. Randy Fitchner was the offensive coordinator. He's now the QB coach with the Steelers. So he just felt like it was coming home. Williams on a zigzag. Short of midfield. They'll mark him down at the 49. That's a 6-yard gain for D'Angelo Williams. 18 carries, 59 yards with a long of 11 for Williams.
Yeah, and the offensive line loves blocking for Williams because he goes where he's supposed to go, and he finishes each run heading towards the goal line and not the sideline.
Went to the Pro Bowl as a member of the Carolina Panthers in 2009. First-round pick in 2006. Roethlisberger on a 3rd and 4. Dial up the deep ball. Almost intercepted. Sammy Coates, the intended receiver, and Kirkpatrick had it on his hands.
Well, this battle has been won by Kirkpatrick all day long, and they're all go routes by Sammy Coates. Coates has half a step maybe, but the catch-up speed by Kirkpatrick, and again at 6 feet 2 inches tall, he's a long, tall defensive back, and he should have had that interception.
Jordan Berry with the kick. 12 combined punts here today. Fair catch again for Erickson, and it's inside the 10. 43-yard punt. Slugfest in Pittsburgh. We've had no fireworks here in Pittsburgh. Very little offense, a lot of punts, and a lot of 3 and outs. It's a 10-6 lead for the Steelers. The 4th time today that the Bengals have started a drive inside their own 10-yard line. Dalton, off play action. Jeremy Hill working that sideline. Hill with a big gain. Finally caught from behind by Javon Hargrave, and flags on the play. 6'2", 305-pound Hargrave had to chase down Jeremy Hill, who comes up limping. 25 yards.
Foul. Horse collar tackle. Number 79, defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So many times on a horse collar tackle, the runner will come up limping, and this is why. Watch that 300 pounds land on the back of Jeremy Hill. Clearly grabbing the jersey, easy call for the officials, and Hill goes to the sideline. 40-yard play with 25 yards on the gain, and then the 15-yard penalty, just what Marvin Lewis and the Bengals needed.
A shift on the offensive line. They set up initially in one formation, changed to another. Moving pocket for Dalton. Dalton in trouble, steps up. Dalton looking downfield, a fake. And Arthur Moats was not faked out. Dalton falls forward. No gain. It'll go down as a sack for Moats. So Jeremy Hill returns for Cincinnati. He was shaken up, but he's back out there replacing Bernard.
And that was the longest pass play of the afternoon for Andy Dalton. But Marvin Lewis told Evan Washburn the biggest problem in the first half was field position. And that play and the penalty has got them good field position now.
6 offensive linemen for Cincinnati. Jake Fisher, the extra offensive lineman. It's a pitch. Jeremy Hill could not get around Ryan Shazier. The speed, the range. Shazier just flies all over the field for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, flat option play, and they take away the option to Dalton keeping it. But look at Shazier. Tremendous closing speed here as he gets around the block of Jake Fisher and chases downhill.
The Bengals face a 3rd and 9. They're 2 of 11 on 3rd downs today. Dalton trying to make sure everybody's on the same page. Shotgun for Cincinnati. Rush coming. Dalton steps up. Dalton shovels it ahead. Leveled. LaFell. It was dropped. William Gay there defensively. Wouldn't have been nearly enough for a first down as the Steelers celebrate on defense. And Cincinnati stymied once again. It's 4th down.
And again, Keith Butler, defensive coordinator, electing to go with a 4-man rush, dropping 7 in the zones. And Dalton has nobody to throw the ball to down the field. And they fail to convert again on 3rd down.
Eli Rogers waiting at the 10-yard line for the Huber punt. End over end. And he fields it at the 8. 43-yard punt. Steelers trying to make something happen on defense. It's an excitable group. 10-6 lead for Pittsburgh.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Back in the Steel City here at Heinz Field, which opened up back in 2001. Home opener for the Steelers. They lead the Bengals 10-6. Handed off to D'Angelo Williams. Slicing through. Williams carries a defender out across the 15. David Johnson with a block for Pittsburgh. It's a 7-yard pickup for D'Angelo Williams. In just 2 days, NCIS's Michael Weatherly returns to CBS in the new legal drama, Bull. Premieres Tuesday after NCIS, only CBS. Gives the Steelers a little bit of breathing room here. James and Grimble, two tight ends in this formation. 22nd running play for Pittsburgh. Williams tries to shake and bake, and it works. Veers to the outside and gets the angle for the first down. 5-yard pickup for D'Angelo Williams.
Yeah, he does a great job of setting up his blocks. David DeCastro is pulling on this play. He's got Iloka right there, and then the block by David Johnson on Vinny Ray. But both of those blocks were set up perfectly by the patience of D'Angelo Williams.
Williams gets a breather. Fitzgerald Toussaint is now in for Pittsburgh.
5-8, 5-8.
And a new set of downs for the Steelers to work with. 3 tight ends in this formation, James, Johnson, and Grimble. Roethlisberger to throw it. Avoids the trouble on a dump off. Toussaint. Nice move by Toussaint. On the outside, Toussaint made Adam Jones miss. And it's a first down. NFL Today update. JB, Coach Cowher.
Coach, New England again?
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount 9 yards out right there, up 31-3. It's official. Jimmy Garoppolo is out with a shoulder injury, and Jacoby Brissett is in. He's 3 of 5 so far for 59 yards.
And the Patriots continue to score. Back to Ione.
Winning culture, guys. Ben Roethlisberger's pass deflected off of Iloka. The previous play went for 9 yards. He did not get the necessary yardage for a first down. So it brings up 3rd and 1 now for Pittsburgh.
Well, that should have been the 3rd interception of the day for Roethlisberger. Iloka right in the throwing lane. That ball went right through his hands.
Now, Dan, the numbers aren't pretty for Roethlisberger. 11 for 25, 140 yards. The touchdown to Grimble and 2 interceptions. Jones on the sideline for Cincinnati. It's a 3rd and 1 with D'Angelo Williams in the backfield. Brown, the motion man. Fake it to Williams. Roethlisberger stands in the pocket. Low throw. It's brought in by Grimble. Hanging in there, Roethlisberger, and it turns into a 5-yard pickup. Excellent grab by Xavier Grimble.
Well, Ben's got to come off his primary again. And as he's throwing, he's being dragged to the ground. But a great effort by Grimble to stay with it. That one-handed tackle by Pecco just a little bit late on Roethlisberger.
6'5", 240 pounds. We throw the number out there. We're not sure with Ben. Said he lost 15 pounds.
What is it?
We know he's big
130.
and he's sturdy. Fake it. Roethlisberger looking for the deep ball. Caught! Sammy Coates! A rainbow from Roethlisberger.
Yeah, the key really here is for Ben to have good protection where he can get back, set his feet, and let it fly. Top of the screen is Coates. Fakes the up route, breaks to the post, and the ball dropped in perfectly. So he's 1 for 4 against Kirkpatrick, but this one is a game changer for 53 yards.
First and goal for Pittsburgh inside the 10. 5 receivers set. Roethlisberger fires. End zone. Jesse James. Touchdown Steelers.
Now you got to know your personnel, and when you've got a guy 6'7", as Jesse James is, you put the ball up high, especially in a crowd. Left side of the screen comes James right over the middle, right behind Maaluga, and look at all the Bengals around, but they can't go up high enough to make a difference on this play.
Roethlisberger guns it to Jesse James. 7 plays, 91 yards for the Steelers. Extra point from Boswell. Pittsburgh extends the lead. 17-6. Steelers. Again, the deep ball setting things up for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger to Sammy Coates. No Marcus Wheaton once again. We know Martavis Bryant will miss the season. They still have big targets in the red zone, and that includes second-year tight end Jesse James. Steelers with the lead. 9-yard touchdown for Jesse James, Glassport, Pennsylvania native. You lose Heath Miller, who was the security blanket for Ben Roethlisberger. They're still very close. Miller retiring after 11 years as a member of the Steelers, 2 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls. You go out, you sign Ladarius Green, and physically he's not ready to go. Ankle injury, he was getting headaches, came over from San Diego. Jesse James slides into that starter's role, and they have not missed a beat in the first 2 weeks. It's a touchback. Cincinnati will have it at the 25. The Steelers building on their lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
It's been raining on and off throughout the afternoon here in Pittsburgh. It is once again raining now at Heinz Field, with the Steelers leading at 17-6. Bengals in an 11-point hole. Catch made by Bernard. Penalty marker thrown at the 19.
And they're going to be in a bigger hole now after this holding.
Holding. Number 77 offense. 10-yard penalty remains. First down.
That's the 2-time Pro Bowler Andrew Whitworth called on the hold. So back it up for the Bengals now at the 15-yard line.
And got caught holding Ryan Shazier. Again, horrible field position for the Bengals.
Fairly clean in terms of penalties. 3 of them against Cincinnati, 2 called on Pittsburgh. Play clock was down to 0. They didn't get the playoff.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
Now this is not going in the right direction for the Bengals.
Yeah, there's a play clock on each end of the field. This is a case of the play coming in too slowly for Dalton to do all the things he's got to do.
From the gun, a 1st and 25. Dalton, beautiful spiral to Tyler Boyd. And they get back that yardage and then some. First down, 29-yard hookup.
Yeah, 4 catches now for Tyler Boyd. Talk about bailing your team out. Great throw by Dalton. Real courageous throw and an even better catch in traffic.
63 yards for Boyd on the receiving end. Play action. Dalton out of the pocket, and he throws it away. Jarvis Jones put the pressure on Andy Dalton at 2nd and 10.
Well, Dalton completed 76% of his passes last week against the Jets, even though he was sacked 7 times. Steelers have yet to get him down today, but he's only completing 50% of his passes.
A new helmet for Andy Dalton. We have just over 5 minutes to go in the third. Still plenty of time, but just haven't seen consistent signs that Cincinnati can get some serious drives going here. Fake it. Tyler Kroft remains on his feet after the contact, and the clock will continue to roll as Kroft brings it across the 45-yard line.
And you talked about him getting a new helmet. Maybe that was the cause of the delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
The communication with the sideline, the play calling. And, that's probably a byproduct of the damp nature of today. But it hasn't rained for about a half hour, at least. Very hard.
And Evan Washburn confirming that was the issue for Dalton down there with the new helmet. Mike Mitchell was shaken up on this drive. Shamarko Thomas is in for him. And the completion downfield to Alex Erickson. First team all Big Ten for the Badgers of Wisconsin. 20 yards on the pass play, and now Cincinnati starting to get it rolling.
Well, and they're hitting the Steelers right down the middle. First it was Boyd on this drive, and now Erickson gets his first NFL catch.
They are inside the 35 of Pittsburgh. Dalton, Layfield, Dalton looking for it all. End zone. Incomplete and a flag. Green and a matchup with Cockrell.
They're going to get Cockrell.
First down.
It is P.I. Ross Cockrell.
Green trying to get to the outside, but once you put that arm out like that, that's impeding the progress of the receiver, and it's going to get called every time, regardless of if the ball is overthrown.
Mike Mitchell back in for Pittsburgh. Fans reacting to the call once they show the replay on the big screen here at Heinz Field. And for the record, they disagree. Floater. Hill. Jeremy Hill, good effort. On the redirect, 4-yard pickup. Sean Davis will get credit for the tackle. We're down to 3:35 and counting in this third quarter.
Yeah, this is an excellent drive by the Bengals. It was highlighted by the long pass down the middle to Boyd, and then the follow to that to Erickson. You can see the Bengals have a lot more juice now, especially when you look at that effort by Jeremy Hill.
Well, they're not running the football. Certainly not on this drive. It's been all pass plays, and they've been limited on the ground. 17 yards rushing for Hill, 7 yards on the ground for Bernard. 2nd and 6 for Cincinnati. Dalton gets rid of it quickly, and it's way too high for Brandon LaFell in a matchup against Ross Cockrell. 3rd and 6 for the Bengals. Dalton is now 19 of 37, 245 yards, no touchdowns, no picks.
It'll be interesting to see how they cover A.J. Green as he goes to the top of the screen.
On 3rd down. Dalton steps up, throws it, back of the end zone, incomplete. LaFell and a flag down.
Artie Burns appeared to make contact with LaFell. That's what caused LaFell to make a desperate dive for this ball.
Pass interference. Number 25 defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Now LaFell's on a post route, number 11 here. And there's the bump. He grabs him around the hip. And if he doesn't grab him around the hip, it's probably going to be a touchdown.
They send Jake Fisher into the game. He's an eligible receiver here as a 6th offensive lineman. Dalton's limping. First and goal from the 1. Give it to Hill. Buried behind the line of scrimmage. Blown up by Shazier. Loss of 1 on the play.
Let's go back and see why Dalton is limping. As he's going to get tagged here as he's trying to get this ball to LaFell. Cameron Hayward and 300 pounds on top of him as they hit the turf. Great play on that last play by Shazier, wasn't it?
It was. He's been making plays all day. 2nd and goal. Motion man Croft. Fake it. Dalton upstairs. Uzama. Incomplete. Robert Golden in the back of the end zone for Pittsburgh.
Now that ball hung up in the air for an eternity here. Uzama is open, but Golden will push him out of the back of the end zone. Tremendous play by Robert Golden.
Golden tags Uzama, who couldn't get 2 feet down. Held on to the football. But now it's 3rd and goal. Operating out of the gun. Play clock's down to 2. Dalton looks, end zone. Incomplete. Uzama in the area. Cockrell there defensively. And the field goal unit comes on for Cincinnati.
Well, Dalton was looking for Uzama again. Uzama lining up right here. Watch as he works to the back of the end zone. And when Dalton finally sees him, it's going to be too late, as from the other side, Cockrell comes off his coverage on Green to make it a very difficult completion.
It's a 21-yard chip shot here for Mike Nugent with 2:13 to go in the third. Nugent puts it through. It's 17-9 Pittsburgh. Long drive for Cincinnati, but have to settle for a field goal. The NFL recognizes Hispanic Heritage Month by celebrating the history, culture, and tradition of Latinos. Visit NFL.com/Hispanic Heritage to view unique stories, features, and content. Mike Nugent will kick it off after the 21-yard field goal. Sammy Coates is deep along with Fitzgerald Toussaint. 10 plays, 72 yards, 3 field goals on the day for Nugent. And it's 17-9 Pittsburgh. Bengals have gotten off to strong starts the last 3 years. They were 8-0 last year. They were 5-2-1 to start the year in 2014. They were 6-2 in 2013. Toussaint will not take it out of the end zone. Dan, I believe you're bilingual.
Absolutely, and I know Benny Ricardo.
Yeah, he's got the call of today's game on SAP.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Qué tremenda atajada ahí. Y este viene a ser Xavier Grimble.
Oh, I got that one.
You know, Benny was a place kicker for the Chargers for a couple of years.
So you and Benny go way back.
Yeah, he taught me Spanish.
And how much of it have you retained? Just Xavier Grimble, I believe that's all you say. D'Angelo Williams carries it for 5 yards, hit by Pat Sims. Let's get an NFL Today update. JB, Coach Coward.
Saints even it up.
Yeah, you're going to find there Willie Snead on the receiving end of this Drew Brees pass from 17 yards out. 10-10, New York and New Orleans.
Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts and Evan Washburn.
Hey, JB, congratulations. Hall of Fame for JB in Canton, and Bill Cowher among those on the list of 94 nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. D'Angelo Williams cutting to the outside. Williams short of a first down, but another strong run by Williams. Pecco had a chance to bring him down. Kirkpatrick as well, 4 yards for Williams, and now he's got 82 overall.
Tremendous effort, too. He's even going to have his face mask grab here by Pecco. Pecco lets go. Officials do not see it, but the effort to bring up a third and short is just what the Steelers need.
Well, this rain is now legitimate. It had stopped for a stretch.
Watch him, y'all.
And it's coming down fairly hard right now with 2 seconds left on the play clock. Roethlisberger pointing on the side of Cincinnati with Dunlap and Johnson the ends.
Yeah, the Cincinnati's claiming that Marquise Pouncey moved the ball, and that's what drew them off sides.
Offside, defense, no to 1 infraction, 5-yard penalty. Result of the penalty is first down.
I think Pouncey gets away with one here because he is literally going to be rocking back in his stance. Doesn't move the ball, but he definitely was moving. Watch Pouncey right in the middle. That is encroachment called against the Bengals when it shouldn't have been. That's a false start on Pouncey.
Hey, line over there.
But it's a new set of downs for Pittsburgh.
Blue 80.
Motion man David Johnson fake the handoff. Roethlisberger avoids the rush, throws it downfield, and that's high, even for Jesse James. 6'7" and the full extension.
And again, you know, you talked about the rain, and you can see it. And you just got to wonder about the effects of it. You know, they dry the ball off on the sidelines, but then you know what they do? They put the ball down on the wet ground. And so one side of the ball is going to be wet. It's up to the quarterback as he's going back to pass to spin it in his hand to find a dry spot.
Just over a minute left to play in this third quarter. Pittsburgh 17, Cincinnati 9. Roethlisberger on a give. D'Angelo Williams redirects, plows through one, and then runs into Kirkpatrick, looking to truck the defensive back.
And this is what D'Angelo Williams did last week against Washington. A huge second half because of efforts like this. Watch as he sets up his blocks, uses the patience, and Kirkpatrick with the tackle here.
D'Angelo Williams, the first player 33 years or older to rush for over 140 yards and 2 touchdowns in a game. For a long stretch, that had not happened. We're going back 1970. Now to 20 seconds left in the third. Roethlisberger, that's too high. He and Brown have not been able to connect consistently.
And after he let that ball go, Roethlisberger looked at his throwing hand. Wears a glove on his left hand, but no glove on his right hand. And this ball, again, it appears to just slip out of his hand.
Punt from Berry. And Erickson, no fair catch called for. He gets dropped immediately inside the 10 by Shamarko Thomas. 45-yard punt. The King of Comedy is back on CBS. Kevin James returns in Kevin Can Wait. Premieres tomorrow after The Big Bang Theory, only CBS. 9 seconds left in this third quarter. Pittsburgh 17, Cincinnati 9. Looked like the Bengals could have had a touchdown to Uzama, but he was hit by Robert Golden on the play in the back of the end zone. And questions as to whether or not was that a force out by Golden. Is that something that Cincinnati should have taken a look at and put it in the officials' hands on a replay? Hand off to Hill. Hill dances and takes it just short of the 14-yard line. Simmons and Shazier combine to bring him down. That's the end of 3. 17-9 Steelers. We'll come back to Pittsburgh after this. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts here in Pittsburgh, and all of the announcers throughout the NFL on CBS are wearing special ties and pins for St. Jude Children's Hospital, raising awareness, partnering with what is a tremendous cause in Memphis. We appreciate all the support from all the folks out there. They do incredible work.
Yeah, I'm proud to wear the pin and the tie, and I'll do the same thing next week.
Quick pass to Tyler Boyd. Let's go back here for the Uzama play. Take a look at his knee. Forget about what Golden does in the back of the end zone. Did Uzama get the knee down? Would that be enough for the touchdown? Toss to the sideline. It's through the hands of A.J. Green. Is it something that Cincinnati should have taken a look at with review?
Absolutely. They should have looked at that in the press box. The coaches have monitors, and if they saw this, they could have communicated to the sideline that this is a touchdown. John Madden found out a long time ago that one knee equals 2 feet.
9-4.
Yeah.
So the push by Golden did not allow Uzama to put 2 feet down, but he got that knee down just before he hit the white. Bengals settled for 3 points. Jeremy Hill running inside and hit by Hayward. It brings up 3rd and long now for Cincinnati.
And another long field for the Bengals after they get started this drive, keeping their own end of the field again back at the 9-yard line. And like a broken record, but that's the way it's been for Andy Dalton and the Bengal offense throughout this afternoon.
1 minute gone by in this fourth quarter. Pittsburgh 17, Cincinnati 9. The Bengals 3 of 14 on third down conversions. This is a 3rd and 7 for Cincinnati. Dalton steps up and throws. Incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the intended receiver, surrounded by Steelers. It's 4th down.
You know, even though they haven't sacked Andy Dalton this afternoon, the pressure has been just constant as they're just rushing 4. And you can see all the Steelers in the secondary. Dalton's outlet receiver this time is Boyd. The ball thrown behind him. Even if he caught it, it would not have been enough for the first down.
Kevin Huber, the punt. That's a low punt. It does take a Cincinnati roll, and it angles out of bounds just across the 35-yard line. They're going to have it at the 32. This is a series that goes back to 1970. The Bengals were in the AFL in 68 and 69, and then division rivals with Pittsburgh. A new chapter today between the Steelers and the Bengals on CBS. Thursday, your weekend starts here. The Houston Texans tangle with the New England Patriots. It's Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. The news that Jimmy Garoppolo has been knocked out of the game with a shoulder injury against the Miami Dolphins, and Garoppolo was producing for New England. So question marks as to who's going to be in there at quarterback for Week 3. We'll have the answers for you on Thursday night. Roethlisberger with his team up by 8. Across the formation to Brown. And a short gainer for Antonio Brown. 3 yards. Malaluga there defensively for Cincinnati. Just 3 catches for 22 yards for the 4-time Pro Bowler Antonio Brown.
And a good show of sportsmanship by Ray Malaluga, as after he tackled Brown, he helped him back up. Of course, it was in front of the Steeler bench. It's a good idea by Malaluga. The pride of Eureka, California.
Dan, the last 2 games, these 2 teams played in games that resulted in more than $200,000 worth of fines and numerous injuries in their last 2 meetings. Williams working it to the outside, and Adam Jones there along the edge for Cincinnati. No gain.
And another 3rd down coming up for the Steelers. Just 5 of 13 today. But the defenses have just been outstanding. And as you said, Ian, clean play today.
Yep. No extracurricular activities.
Really haven't seen a whole lot of jawing back and forth either.
3rd and 7. Pittsburgh did an excellent job on 3rd down last week against Washington. 5 of 13 today. Roethlisberger double pump. And a throw to a spot. Antonio Brown downfield. Adam Jones upset at that 17-yard completion.
Best throw of the day for Roethlisberger. Double coverage there. Williams short. And then Jones coming over late. Paul Gunther hoping it would be called incomplete on the sidelines, but beautiful timing between quarterback and receiver.
Double coverage, and he still gets open. Now Pittsburgh is in Cincinnati territory. We're under 12 minutes to play.
Set! 80!
Back to the ground game. D'Angelo Williams, there was no push there. Pittsburgh's offensive line dominated Washington's defensive line last week. They're not getting quite the same pop in the run game that they did. Hunt with the tackle for Cincinnati. Pittsburgh maintaining the lead here. Antonio Brown is moving up the ranks, and look who he passed. John Stallworth, now 3rd all-time for most receptions in franchise history. Ward and Miller in front of him. 2nd and 13. David Johnson goes in motion. Take the run play. Roethlisberger on a flip to D'Angelo Williams. Oh, what a cut! D'Angelo Williams, elusive. They faked out Dansby.
When he catches this ball, he's way short of the first down, but look at the move. The cut inside of Dansby and then away from Kirkpatrick before Williams can bring him down. 20 yards on that play, and it was all D'Angelo Williams.
Williams to the sideline, replaced by Toussaint. 4 receivers set on a 1st and 10 at the 31. Quick hitter, Hayward Bay. Brought down as he crosses the 25 by Hunt and Kirkpatrick. At 7 yards for the former Raider and Colt.
really 7 hard yards by Hayward Bay. He lowered his head, did a good job. Ball security has always been an issue with Darius Hayward Bay, but not this time, as you can see. Marcus Hunt trying to strip it from him.
Dan, that is 9 different receivers that Roethlisberger has spread the wealth to.
Blue 80.
2nd and 3. Give to Toussaint. Squeezes through that crease. 4 yards and a first down.
Now you talked about the offensive line and the job they're doing, but watch right in here as Toussaint will get stopped at the line of scrimmage. To the Castro gets up on the linebacker. Just a tiny little hole there. Marcus Gilbert doing a good job from his right tackle spot. But right now the Bengals are not tackling.
This drive now 4 minutes 33 seconds and counting. That's the longest time elapsed drive of the day for Pittsburgh. D'Angelo Williams right up the gut. Williams picks up a yard and a half. NFL Today update. JB, Coach Keller.
Ravens were down by 20.
Yeah, and they scored 22 straight points, culminated by this 49-yard field goal. 22 unanswered, and now they're up 22-20. Ian, Dan, enjoy good old Pittsburgh weather.
Thanks, Bill. If anybody can relate, it's you. AFC North action.
I didn't know it could rain in the press box, though.
Yeah.
In our broadcast booth. I'm getting pelted here.
Roethlisberger almost got pelted. Now he's running. Roethlisberger dives. Down to the 5-yard line. Ben Roethlisberger, 14 yards on the scramble.
Well, he sees the seas open up here as he breaks the pocket. Dunlap can't get him down. And now he's thinking, how far can I go? Head first inside the 5. Man-to-man coverage there. There was nobody looking for Roethlisberger as they were all chasing the receivers crisscrossing the field.
5-7.
Roethlisberger quieting the crowd. Shotgun. Williams. He's dropped after he picks up half a yard.
Good play by Dansby that time as he came around the corner.
And Pittsburgh using clock here. These are not the kind of numbers that Ben Roethlisberger is used to in the first half, but the second half he's picked it up. 11th play of the drive, 6.5 minutes for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 5-8.
2nd and goal. Steelers go empty. Roethlisberger. Looking, throwing, almost intercepted. Brown went down against Dansby.
Boy, Dansby had Antonio Brown in coverage. Here comes some woofing here.
Now, Carlos Dansby wasn't even part of this last year. He's a new Bengal.
Ben got away with one there because Dansby had shoved Antonio Brown to the ground earlier here.
It's 3rd and goal. We'll get a timeout. Steelers will have 2 remaining. We've got 6:53 on the clock. Pittsburgh trying to make this a 2-possession game. Well, Carlos Dansby signed as a free agent. We asked him why Cincinnati. He said that Marvin Lewis told him he was the missing piece, trying to get back to that approach they had when Lewis was running the defense in Baltimore and they won a Super Bowl.
Well, let's go back and look at the play he makes on Antonio Brown. Here's Brown, and here's Dansby right here, man-to-man. Brown's going to run a quick out, but Dansby's all over him. And now, looked like Brown maybe just lost his footing there, but then second time around, Dansby makes sure he stays down on the ground. No call on that.
It's 3rd and goal for Mike Tomlin's team. Steelers 17, Cincinnati 9. Roethlisberger from the gun. Roethlisberger, open man, D'Angelo Williams, touchdown Steelers. And he was wide open on the play. Roethlisberger delivers.
And Bengal defenders are looking at each other. Somebody blew the coverage here. This is unbelievably wide open for a goal line play. Right out of the backfield. And nobody goes with him. Jones expecting Williams. Williams expecting Jones. And this Williams makes the catch.
Complete mix-up for Cincinnati. 12 plays, 68 yards. It took 6 minutes and 54 seconds. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are in control at home against the Bengals.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Progressive, handing off big savings to you. Walmart, save money, live better. And by the Lincoln Motor Company and the exhilarating new Lincoln MKZ.
In addition to getting the touchdown, which is huge for Pittsburgh, look how much time they used, nearly 7 minutes off the clock, limiting Cincinnati's opportunities here. It's now 24-9. D'Angelo Williams, first 2 weeks, it's like the fountain of youth. Burkhead takes a knee, 25-yard line for Cincinnati, but now Cincinnati has got a deeper hole to climb out of. 24-9, Pittsburgh. D'Angelo Williams last week against Washington, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. He's backed it up with another strong performance. 88 yards rushing. He has 4 catches for 38 yards and a touchdown today against Cincinnati. Bengals 1st and 10 at their own 25. We're down to 6:45 to play. Dalton hooks a pass to Giovanni Bernard, and he works that sideline out of bounds. Just across the 30.
Dalton had his helmet knocked off. I mean, that just doesn't happen. You're not supposed to hit the quarterback in the head. Here comes to it with a drill to the middle of the back, and that's why the hat popped off.
Dalton appears to be okay. Shotgun formation on 2nd and 3. Over the middle, first down for Bernard. And he's dropped before he hits the 45 by Robert Golden. That's 12 yards. Dalton to Bernard.
Cam Hayward's slow to get up. Still on both knees here. The training staff will come out and check Cameron Hayward out.
Hayward, one of the leaders of this team, a captain, now in his 6th year in the NFL. Up on his feet, he will walk over to the Steelers sideline, and Ricardo Matthews will replace him, a 7-year veteran. Matthews has played with Indianapolis and San Diego. He's been a rotation defensive lineman in his career. Actually attended college at Cincinnati.
Hey, look, first minute. Nope.
Under 6 minutes left. 15-point advantage for Pittsburgh. A.J. Green on the day, 2 catches, 38 yards. Again, short one to Bernard. And he's hit from the side by Stephon Tuitt. 9-yard pickup.
That's really been their most effective pass play today. It's been the screen pass to Bernard. About 9 yards on that one.
Seven catches, 68 yards for Giovanni Bernard. Dalton on a 2nd and 1. Quick hit on Tyler Kroft. Make that Uzama, and it's a first down, 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, but the clock continues to roll because of this tackle here. Uzama was thinking he's going to make this catch and go out of bounds, but Wright reacting extremely quickly is Cockrell to keep him in bounds.
Line of scrimmage is now the 45 in Pittsburgh territory. 4:48 left. Dalton working out of the gun. Short pass over the middle. This time Jeremy Hill spins out of the initial contact. And Arthur Moats over there defensively. It's an 8-yard pickup. But Pittsburgh not giving up anything deep. The explosive A.J. Green has not been a part of it in this drive. Dalton looks to the other side, fires it. It's complete to James Wright. Wright's been dealing with knee injuries each of the last 2 years. Just trying to get some consistent time. And the Cincinnati offense is good enough for a first down. Dalton has gone over 300 yards passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions.
And no running game.
34 rushing yards for the Bengals here today. 3:40 and counting left in the fourth. Dalton out of the pocket. Dalton looking for an angle. And he's out of bounds. It's a 3-yard run for Dalton. McCullers putting the pressure on Andy Dalton. Dalton was having communication problems with a previous helmet, and it appears that that's been an issue for him again as he's working with Ken Zampese, the offensive coordinator on the Cincinnati sideline. Leading receiver for Cincinnati is the rookie Tyler Boyd. 5 catches, 72 yards. Bernard with 7 catches. Then A.J. Green. 2 catches, 38 yards. Dalton underneath. Bernard works the sideline. Touchdown, Cincinnati. He fakes out Artie Burns and takes it into the end zone. And he got it quickly. 3:25 left in the fourth.
Yeah, just a great effort by Bernard. As the Steelers are in zone, and they're looking for these short outlet passes. But you can see the speed of Bernard and then the strength. Got away from Burns, and then he got away from Sean Davis and basically walked into the end zone. Good job of directing that drive to put the Bengals with an extra point converted here back to a 1-score game.
Down 15, you're going to need the 2-point conversion at some point, but no reason to go for it here. Take the extra point, make it an 8-point game. As the pressure builds, Mike Nugent tacks it on. It's 24-16. 3:25 to play in the fourth. The Bengals still alive in the Steel City.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway Restaurants and by AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Cincinnati Bengals get their first touchdown of the day on an 8-play, 75-yard drive. It took 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Dalton on that drive, 7 of 7. It ends on the Bernard 25-yard catch and run for a touchdown. Dalton now 327 yards through the air. And Bernard with 8 catches, 93 yards in the score. Mike Nugent kicks it off. Sammy Coates will take a knee. Steelers will have it at the 25-yard line with an 8-point lead. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to your favorite team. From the front office to the front row, you'll get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today. Cincinnati has 3 timeouts remaining. Pittsburgh has 2. And we've got 3:25 left in the fourth. 8-point lead for Pittsburgh. Johnson goes in motion for the Steelers. 3 tight ends in this formation. D'Angelo Williams picks up 3 yards on first down. Iloka the tackle on a timeout.
Well, back-to-back games now for D'Angelo Williams, and he has produced both on the ground, rushing and receiving. But both times against the Redskins last week and today against the Bengals, it's been the big second half for Williams and the Steelers. The perfect storm on a stormy day.
And 2 timeouts remaining now for Cincinnati. 129 total yards for D'Angelo Williams And the touchdown through the air where he was wide open, a breakdown defensively for the Bengals.
In over 1,900 touches in his career, he has fumbled 16 times, but only lost 12 of them. That's a phenomenal number when you think about ball security.
2nd and 7.
5-8.
Pittsburgh looking for first downs, trying to use clock to seal this one. Williams met in the hole. 1-yard pickup. Vincent Ray is there, and it sets up 3rd down. Cincinnati is down to its final timeout. 3rd and 6 for the Steelers.
And the big decision now for Todd Haley calling the plays for Ben Roethlisberger. Do you risk a pass and an incompletion, which would stop the clock, along with a change of possession on 4th down, or do you keep the ball on the ground and force the Bengals to use their last timeout on defense?
So this is a 3rd and 6. Trying to keep this drive alive. Man, it is pouring right now in Pittsburgh. 3rd and 6 for the Steelers. Long count for Roethlisberger. Locks in, throws, incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. Adam Jones locked up with him.
This is mano-a-mano right here. And Jones with a perfect play. The right hand behind the back did not change the move by Brown. And left hand to knock the ball away. Ben really guiding that ball to his receiver. But great coverage. A tough catch for Brown.
And Dan, that was basically a perfect sequence for Cincinnati. Not a lot of clock used. 3 and out. Perry with a booming kick to Adam Jones. Jones, the stutter step, and he's dropped as he crossed the 25-yard line. A 58-yard punt, 14-yard return, and the special teams play made by Matakevich. Let's go downstairs, check in with Evan.
Hawaiian, you touched on the rain, and this is the heaviest downpour we've had this afternoon, and the field conditions have honestly gotten progressively worse. Footing has become as much a concern as the ability to hold the ball cleanly, guys.
And let's see how it plays out over the final 3 minutes. Cincinnati in need of a touchdown, down by 8 from the 25. Bernard in the backfield. He was the go-to guy on the last drive for the Bengals. Dalton throws it over the middle. Drop ball. Slippery ball. Tyler Kroft.
Yeah, over anxious too by Tyler Kroft. He knew he was wide open. There's nobody around him. He's thinking about getting up the field before Harrison could come over. Well, that ball came out a little bit funky too, didn't it? Tough catch for Kroft after that wobbly spiral.
8 drop passes today. This is a 2nd and 10. Dalton on a line, connects. Brandon LaFell short of a first down. It's 9 yards. 3rd and 1. Shazier with a tackle for Pittsburgh.
I'd like to see a little bit more of a sense of urgency for the Bengals here. They have 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning to stop the clock.
Play.
On 3rd and 1, we're down to 2:25 to play. On the delay, Bernard, first down. Shake and bake to the outside. Bernard goes out of bounds. With 2:14 left, that's a 10-yard pickup. And a new set of downs for Cincinnati to work with.
Yeah, good job by Tyler Kroft to give Bernard the outside, and then a heady decision to step out of bounds to stop the clock. That's the first time they've run the ball in a long time. Draw play there. Good call by Ken Zampese.
Steelers defenders urging the crowd to get vocal. Cincinnati has it at its own 44. 2:14 to play. 8-point game. Dalton in the pocket, gets rid of it. Downfield. Catch is made by LaFell into Pittsburgh territory, and it covers 17 yards. Andy Dalton is not moving well right now. We hit the 2-minute warning. Dalton will head to the Cincinnati sideline. One possession game. Andy Dalton has gotten hot at the right time in this second half. 193 yards and the touchdown to Giovanni Bernard. Cincinnati is on the move with a 1st and 10 inside the Pittsburgh 40. Dalton deep drop. Over the middle, the soft toss. And the ball popped loose. Scooped up by Golden. Golden down the sideline, and Pittsburgh takes over.
The question's going to be, was his knee down before the ball came out? Looks like Lawrence Timmons made the hit. Let's check out the knee here.
It's the rookie Tyler Boyd.
Well, that right knee looked like it was on the ground when Harrison hit him and popped the ball out. Yeah, I think this one's coming back. So it was the right knee of Uzomah earlier that wasn't challenged by the Bengals. This is an automatic review. That right knee clearly is down before the ball comes out. The ageless wonder, James Harrison, on the youngster Boyd.
And the right knee connected with the right arm of Boyd that was holding the football, and it popped free. But certainly looked like Boyd's right knee was down on the play. It's under review. Call on the field was a fumble and recovery by Pittsburgh.
You talked about how hot Andy Dalton has been here in this fourth quarter. He said 10 of his last 11. The only one that was incomplete was the drop by Croft. Dalton working under duress with a bad leg. But this review, you got to believe, is going to give Dalton and the Bengals another shot at this one.
That would be a 6-yard pass play and would set up 2nd and 4 at the 33 of Pittsburgh. Now you try to read the tea leaves sometimes with these reviews. When the official stays in there under the hood for a long stretch, that usually means that it wasn't cut and dry. It's a reversal. They have to figure out the time. They have to figure out the spot. When it's an open and shut case, usually the official emerges fairly quickly.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We've seen enough of these. Pete Morelli just now coming out from under the hood.
The only question is always, is it clear? Is it clear for the reversal?
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Fumble and recovery.
Well, there you have it.
Pittsburgh.
The question becomes timing of the knee and the ball.
Yeah, if the knee goes down while he still has possession, it's not a fumble. That's the way I saw it. Watch the right knee. Watch where the ball is. Knee is down, ball still in his arm. Now it's popped out by the right knee of Harrison.
So this play stands with Pittsburgh taking over. You could not see the ball. Obviously, you had to project that that ball was not moving before Harrison made complete contact with it. Harrison's body was in the way to see the ball.
But the ball wouldn't be moving if there was no contact.
D'Angelo Williams with the carry, and he's brought down quickly. Cincinnati only has the one timeout remaining. Well, what would Pittsburgh-Cincinnati be without a little bit of controversy?
You got it. It took us a while to get it, didn't it?
Bengals use their final timeout. Let's take another look. The right knee is down there. The contact, you can see the muscle on the back of the right leg of Harrison move. And they decide that this was a fumble as the ball popped free. Cincinnati can get the ball back, but it would be with maybe 10 seconds remaining. They cannot stop the clock with 1:45 to go. This is a 2nd and 11 for Pittsburgh. Williams tripped up. Looked like he was going to take it for the first down, and that would have officially ended it, but Sean Williams got him low. And it brings up third down as the Steelers are trying to finish off the Bengals. 97 yards rushing for D'Angelo Williams.
And what an embarrassment of riches they'll have in a couple of weeks when they get Le'Veon Bell back.
Bell will serve one more game as part of his suspension. The Steelers are at Philly next week. Williams is dropped in the backfield by Dansby. And now the clock will roll. Cincinnati cannot stop it. 48 seconds to play.
Disappointment for D'Angelo Williams. So close to that 100-yard mark. We'll lose a little bit there, but what an effort as he picks up 31 carries today along with his 4 catches. Phenomenal.
25 seconds on the game clock, 9 seconds now on the play clock. Marvin Lewis, a McDonald, Pennsylvania native, grew up 25 minutes from downtown Pittsburgh. Coached for the Steelers as well. First job he had in the NFL. And this Steelers-Bengals series, which has been highly competitive, but game in and game out, something a little different happens. Injuries, penalties, controversy. The only hope right now for Cincinnati, they have to have a block. Full protection. Berry gets rid of it quickly, and he just booms it through the back of the end zone, not taking any chances. 8 seconds remain. Coming up next, most of you for the NFL on CBS will see Indianapolis square off with the Denver Broncos, or the Falcons face the Raiders, the Jaguars take on the Chargers. Check your local listings. The Bengals have 8 seconds, and they have to go 80 yards. (24-16) Pittsburgh. Steelers trying to hold on. One last-ditch effort here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Dalton, floater. Bernard doesn't head out of bounds. Instead, they're going to play the lateral game, but with the wrong people. Pittsburgh scoops it up, and the Steelers grind out another victory in this rivalry. An early season statement in the AFC North. Pittsburgh outlasts Cincinnati 24-16. Roethlisberger and Dalton share a moment. 3 touchdowns for Roethlisberger, 2 interceptions. There's Lewis and Tomlin. The last time these two teams met, it was chaos. Not quite the case today, but still some controversy on a fumble and a replay. 24-16, Steelers win it. Game 2 of our doubleheader is coming up. For Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our crew, Ian Eagle. So long from Pittsburgh. Coming up next, NFL Today update right after this.